Hey there, Russ here. Welcome back to the shop. Well, let's do a 2020 prediction. I'm going to talk about what I'm going to be doing this year. First, last year, I have to tell you, I put out a lot of videos, it seems like, compared to some standards, and others maybe it's not so much, but they have slowed down a little bit from what I used to do, and that's partly because of medical rather than because of lack of things to talk about. I have a list that's a mile long with all sorts of ideas. But this year, I really want to do a couple of quick things. So I thought I'd go bounce them off you. And if there's something in there in particular you want me to put in front of everything, just let me know. And I'll make sure that I get to it pretty quickly type of thing. So if it's something of interest to you. First and foremost, I've been reorganizing my shop. So my table saw, which is now right behind where you are. Yeah, right back there by the little guy in the back. Yeah. Anyway, so my back is to the street that I live on when I'm using the table saw. And I've put this T-bone into my workbench here. I T-boned it into the table saw, and that's kind of going to be the base. So now, instead of you seeing this direction, my OSB wall and my dry sink, I'm now looking straight ahead at it. So I've kind of turned this 90 degrees to get that T-bone effect. Anyway, it's a work in progress. As soon as I clear a couple of places so I can actually walk around everywhere comfortably, then we'll go for a quick tour of the place, just to give you an idea. And remember, it's going to be a mess, but it always is. More importantly, it'll be kind of like being on an amusement ride or in a fun house at the carnival is what it'll be, because there's so many different things around here that you won't see anywhere else. So anyway, we'll talk about that. That's one of the things I want to do is I really want to do that shop tour. So as soon as I get a couple things done, we'll try to do that. This year, I'm going to start that new series, and I'm going to call it OTB Van Build. It's about the van I bought and how I'm going to take and turn it into something else. It had 4 captain's chairs and an electric couch at the back, custom van, carpet and everything. So most of that's probably that's pretty much all probably going to go by the wayside. And I have a plan of how I'm going to do everything in there. In fact, that van is going to be what I call a multitasker. So stay tuned. I'm going to do an episode really fast on my plans of that and how most of the things that I use in that van, I will also use on the daily basis or so in my shop or in the house. So things that go into that van will also be multitaskers. You know me, I love multitasking. And the van will be a multitasker because it'll be a cargo van, but I'll be able to convert it to a camper van in less than an hour. That's the theory. So we'll get into all that. That's going to be the new series this year that I'm going to do. And hopefully we'll get a lot of good stuff out of that. That are shop projects and van projects. Some of the new single projects I want to do this year is obviously my dry sink. I got to make it multitasking so I can use it in the van. So that's kind of a shop project, a single one that I'll be doing. But that's only one of many. Also, I want to do, I have this cabinet back here. You can see it right, where is it? Where is it? Oh, there it is right there behind here. This is a metal cabinet. It's a nice little cabinet, and I built a wood frame around it so I can hang tools on the side and stuff. Has a pull-out tray. You've seen it before. Anyway, I think I'd like to dedicate that to being nothing but my electrical work. I want to put a little fan in that cubbyhole area that will suck the fumes away from me if I'm doing soldering, things like that. Put some nice lighting there that I can control. A couple of extra outlets. A setup for my soldering iron to be able to take it out of a drawer. Anyway, strictly electrical. My hand tools, they're all going to try. I'm going to try to get them either into this other cabinet or onto the OSB wall and be done with it. So that I would love that to be a nice little, probably a 3-part project that I want to do. That cabinet if I get to it. I really would like to do a dado sled from my dado stack. I always keep a 1/4 inch in that one table saw, and it has its own dedicated sled. But I think I'd like to really bring a lot to it, make it so I can easily mount and dismount my anchor jig. I want to be able to make finger joints quickly and easily just with the old style finger joint tab type of thing. Things like that. I have some features I put on it that I think might be of interest to you. So that's a project I want to do this year too, is get that dado sled up and running. My gripper, there's something else. That's another one episode thing. I've used lots of different my grippers, the OTB gripper that I use with the handle where you turn it one direction to the other so you line up to the saw. Anyway, I'll show you my favorite now after using it for a couple of years and show you how to take that same one and repair it if you do damage it. I think it's going to be a great episode, but that's going to be a one episode thing too. I do want to make a few more miter saw improvements on my miter saw table over there. It's working really well and I love that laser, but I want to put a fan on there so that it sucks all the air out of that bin behind the miter saw and draws it through an air filter, so any airborne dust going around back there will get sucked in instead of floating out into the room. It's the last step of my design on that, and I think when I get that done, that thing will be just almost perfect for controlling the dust and everything on the miter saw and still be able to cut it. So, and I do want to make an improvement on that small parts cutter thing I have. I'm going to redo that because that one gave me some great ideas, but I think I can make it even better. And I'm better off building that one over from scratch rather than trying to add to that one. So stay tuned. That'll be a one episode too about a new table that I'll be making for that. And I'll just scrap the old one. The other things I kind of want to do is, again, it has to do with the van build. I want to finish my battery pack that runs off of 4 Ryobi batteries and gives me a battery pack that I can carry on the go for both 5 volt, 12 volt, and 110 volt output. And it'll just be handy. It'll run off of 4 batteries from my Ryobi. So stay tuned. I want to get that thing running because it's going to be very much incorporated into some of the things in my van build before I'm done. So the last thing I want to get into is I have some improvements. I want to make a track saw for my Ryobi track, my Ryobi saw, circular saw, the one I'm going to dedicate to doing cutting plywood. And I want to make a track saw attachment that can be used so I can do both vertical and horizontal cuts using that saw instead of my DeWalt track saw. I think I probably won't need that anymore once I get that going. Anyway, some great improvements on my panel saw that is on my overhead door, and I think you'll like those. I have some ideas on that. That'll probably take a couple episodes to go over those refinements when I finally show that. So that's the other thing I want to do. So that's all the ideas that I have. If any of those that you're really interested in, you want me to do first, let me know. Otherwise, I'll just probably randomly pick something off the list and try to go through it by the end of the year. So, anyway, any questions or comments or ideas, leave them below. And as I start doing all these different things, I'm going to really love to hear any ideas you might have about how you would do it. So, just stay tuned if you like this sort of thing. Last thing I want to talk about real quick is a couple of new channels that I have found. The first one is Thrifty Tool Shed. And the reason, he has a nice little shop apparently, but he does electrical stuff, electronic. And he seems to have a pretty good working knowledge. But we hit it off. We had a couple of conversations. But I'll be picking his brain for my Ryobi batteries. He knows some things about how to use those batteries, how to repair them and things like that, that I'm going to have to learn. So plus that way I can use the repairing those batteries at my electric cabinet that I'm going to be hopefully be making too. So he is going to be my knowledge for that. He just doesn't know it yet. Anyway, the other channel is Keith Short. He's a retiree just like me. He does his own videos out there. He has a lot of them out. Some of them about shops, some other things. But actually, his latest one, you really, truly want to look at it. His pantograph. He based it on the Matthias Wandel version. He bought the plans and made it his own. And you might want to look at that. He has a very unique way of doing his channel. And you just have to watch it to see what I'm talking about. Then you'll see. Different than any other creator that I've seen out there. And I have to take my hat off to him for creating a new way of showing a video. So, Keith Short. But what? The guy in the back again. He just asked me if we were related. His last name is Short, and that I am, yeah, haha, very funny guy. Anyway, these are the 2 channels that I found recently. I added them to my features list at my home page on my channel on YouTube. So if you go there, you'll see them on the list now if you want to find them and check them out. That'll be the easiest way to find them. If I remember, I'll try to put their links right in the description below too, so that you don't have to go to my channel. Sometimes I forget to do that stuff, but if I can, I'll do that too. So anyway, that's everything I had to talk about. That's the Roaring 20s, as I guess we should call them, and we'll see where that really goes. So if you have any questions, any suggestions, any projects I don't know about, or something you want me to check out, leave it in the description below. I do read everything. So I was having a little trouble with my comments for a little while, and I realized that they changed some things, and not every comment is coming through on my video and being posted on there. I actually have to go to a video manager to see some of those, and so they never did show up, so I never knew that you even sent me those comments. So now I'll be watching that a little closer. So if I seem like I was ignoring you, I really wasn't. So just so you know. Anyway, I want to thank you for stopping by. If you like this video, you learned something here, hit that like button. Lets me know I'm doing something right. Most importantly though, please come back again, because I'm nowhere near done. Thanks, and we'll see you again very soon.